Hello there friends, it's Ashley here from The Loopy Lamb and theloopylamb.com, and thanks so much for stopping by the channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do the Foundation Single Crochet, also called the Chainless Foundation or Chainless Single Crochet. It's a great way to start your projects where you're going to save time by creating your chain and your first row of single crochet stitches at the same time. So no more fiddly chains, no more counting chains. We're just going to be creating the chains and the stitches at the same time. So it's super, super handy technique to know. So to follow along, you're just going to need a yarn of your preference and a crochet hook that works with that yarn weight. I am using King Cole Timeless Chunky and a 6mm or J crochet hook. Now, I'm going to show you a tip for doing this technique. So if you'd like, you can also have a locking stitch marker handy to try the tip that I'm going to show you. So to start the Foundation Single Crochet, you're going to need to have a slip knot already on your hook. If you're not familiar with how to do a slip knot, you can check out this video here on the channel where I show you different ways to create a slip knot for starting your crochet projects. So now we've got our slip knot on our hook. We're going to start by doing a chain of 2. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. There's 1. Yarn over and pull through. There's 2. So we're going to take a look at our chain and we're going to start working in this second chain from the hook. We never work in the first chain. And we're going to insert a hook into that first chain. When you insert your hook into the first chain, you should see 2 strands from that chain on your hook. Okay, so you've got 1 and 2 plus your working loop here. So we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Now, when you create this yarn over and you pull it up, that's going to become our chain. So we're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop only. And now we have our chain. So this would, if we were creating a regular foundation chain, this would be the chain that we would be working into. And now we're going to create the stitch. So we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And that's your first Foundation Single Crochet. Now I'm going to do that again from the beginning to show you my trick, because when you start doing your second Foundation Single Crochet, that's where a lot of folks get a little confused about where to work, and my tip's going to help you there. So we're going to start with a chain of 2, and then working into the second chain from the hook, we're going to insert our hook into that second chain, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Okay, so we've got 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop only. So as I've already mentioned, that is going to create our chain or our foundation chain. And so what we're going to do for my tip is you're going to take your locking stitch marker and insert it under both loops of what looks like a chain right there. And if the locking stitch markers are ideal because as you're moving around, you don't want it to fall out. All right, so put your stitch marker in there. You've got 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. That's our first Foundation Single Crochet. Now, when you want to do 2 or more, you need to insert your hook into the base of the chain that you created. And that's where that stitch marker is going to come in handy because it's going to make it easier for you to find. So we're going to flip our work upside down and take a look, and you should see 2 loops. Got 1 on my right, 1 on my left over here, and that's your chain. So you're going to insert your hook under both loops of that chain. Now, because I've got that stitch marker in there, it's going to make it a little easier for me to get into that chain. If you didn't have it in there, you might find that part is a little tight, and that's normal. And the more you practice it, the more relaxed your tension will become. All right, so we've picked up both loops of that chain. Then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We've got 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop, creating our chain. Now, if you wanted to, you could move that stitch marker up and mark, and you want to pick up both loops of that chain. But if you don't, that's okay too. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. That's our second Foundation Single Crochet. Let's do another one together. Again, I find it helpful to turn my work upside down to find those loops. I'm going to insert our hook under both those loops, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now one more time together. We're going to insert our hook under both loops of the chain from the previous stitch. It's at the base of the stitch there. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Should have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Yarn over and pull through both loops. And that's your foundation single crochet. Now, when you're first starting out, you might see that there's some tension issues, and I've done this here. I've got a large stitch here at the beginning, and then as I'm progressing, things are getting more even. So it just does take some practice getting used to. But as you get used to this technique, you'll find that you can save yourself a lot of time instead of creating those very long chains for garments and scarves and blankets by substituting in the foundation single crochet. Now, where can you substitute the foundation single crochet? Anytime you see a crochet pattern where it includes instructions for a chain and the first row of stitches are all in single crochet. And you would take a look at the stitch count for row 1 in order to find out how many stitches you will need to make. You don't want to look at the amount of chains, because when you do single crochet, there's always an extra chain for a turning chain. So look at the amount of stitches you're going to need to have at the end of row 1 for that pattern, and then create that many foundation single crochet stitches. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing to this channel. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave them in the comment section below, and I'm happy to give you a hand. If you like free crochet patterns, please check out my blog, theloopylamb.com, where I've got hundreds of free crochet patterns and step-by-step video tutorials. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.